I can do a few things in terms of layer identification. I can use the back of my hand and brush, feeling for different layers. I tend to use popsicle sticks to mark the layers. You can go to the coffee shop and get coffee stir sticks, anything to give you a visual. The other thing that I'll do is actually just take the stir stick or a crystal card and run it through the snow pit. Feeling for that change in hardness. And then the last thing I'll do is just, not even a full hand hardness, but just poke at it to see where that changes up is. So at this point, these are the layers that I've identified in this particular snow pit. When I'm identifying layers and I'm taking temperatures, I always use the sidewall of the snow pit rather than the face of the pit, because I'm actually getting the true layer, versus if I'm digging on a slope angle, if I go 10 centimeters down and stick the thermometer in, I'm actually getting the temperature of a few different layers. So I always use the sidewall for snow temperatures as well as layer ID. At this point, once I've got all my layers I identified, I'm going to record them in my field book. And with the study profile, I start, the ground is always 0 and the surface is always whatever it is. So from 0 to 20 is one layer. From 20 to 38 is my next. 38 to 41 is the next layer. 41 to 67, and then 67 up to 90. I record it just by writing it in my field book, and I skip a line between each layer. That way I can record the hardness of the layer from 0 to 20 here, and the grain type and grain size. Once I have all these layers identified, I'm going to actually go through and just do the hardness of every single one. Thinking about hand hardness, if I take my fist and push on my nose, as soon as it starts to hurt, I don't want to hear a crunch or anything like that, but as soon as it starts to hurt, that's about 2 to 3 pounds of pressure. That's how much pressure we want to put on the snow when we're testing the hardness. Another test, which I learned from Rod Newcomb, is if you put a pint of beer on a dry bar and push it across the bar with your 4 fingers. That's the same amount of pressure. So that's the force we're going to put on the snow. I start with my fist, test for fist hardness, 4 finger, 1 finger, pencil, knife. If I can't get a knife through it, I'm looking at an ice lens. So I'll start at the very top with my fist, and this snow up here is fist hard. So that first from 90 to 67 is fist hard. 67 to 41, I can't get my fist in there. I'll go to 4 finger, and that layer is a solid 4 finger. 41 to 38, it's actually 1 finger there. And if I need to compare, I can always go back up and check the layer above. 38 to 20, I'm going back to 4 finger here. And 20 to the ground, oh boy. I'm between 4 finger and fist. So I would actually call this 4 finger minus. It's softer than 4 finger.